Switchpoint Technologies is the winner 2 years in a row of GENBAND's App Developer Competition. Congratulations, Manish. Can you tell us a little bit about the solution that won this year?
Sure, thank you very much. And the solution that won this year is an application that uses Polycom technology and GENBAND's technology as well. It's called Reverse Call. And the way it works is that if someone approaches a handset, a Polycom handset, it has a proximity sensor, so it alerts someone who might not be at that desk at that point of time, and it alerts them on their mobile that someone has just walked into the room. At that point of time, they can press that button, and a call is established between the Polycom phone and their mobile phone, whether it's on voice over IP or it's between voice over IP and the mobile itself. That's a video call that's established. So what could happen is if a receptionist is not at his or her desk, or it could be at a nurse station, or it could be in a corporate office, you can establish a distance call without the person having to be in a certain place all the time.
Okay, and can you explain a little bit more about how the presence is established? Is it through the Wi-Fi connectivity that's already in the place that the person entered, or how does that work?
Sure. So what happens is the proximity sensor picks up the fact that someone has just walked in, and it actually talks to a solution of ours, which then triggers an alert to the mobile. And once the mobile alert is selected, then it establishes a call between the Polycom phone and the mobile. So what's happening is there's a Switchpoint solution called Apps Grove that is actually orchestrating all these different things. But the beauty of it is that it's using Polycom hardware, so hardware that a customer might have already bought but can use for different services, and it is using the telecom's infrastructure along with other technologies.
So it definitely enriches GENBAND's offering for carriers.
Absolutely, and in fact what it does is it shows carriers that they're able to embed their infrastructure and use that capacity for other things other than just pure telecom stuff. Okay,
great. And then this is somewhat similar to your restaurant mobile app that won the competition last year. Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Sure. So that app was used in a restaurant example, but it is basically a virtual queuing application. It's called Queuing Alert, and what happens is when someone comes to, say, a restaurant and they ask for a table for, say, 4 people, the greeter can tell them that, okay, there's a 20-minute wait, and then ask them how they prefer to be notified. So instead of getting one of those buzzers, they can use their mobile and have a text sent to them on an automated call. Now the beauty of this is that the customer can query the text or the call. So they can text back and say, how much longer do I have left? And it can say 8 minutes or something like that. Or they can call and an automated voice would tell them that. But past that, what happens is the restaurant owner, if the small business owner, they cannot afford that buzzer technology. But they can find out if, say, Martha, you went there and then after 20 minutes said you couldn't wait any longer, you were too hungry. Maybe the restaurant owner can text you or use social media later on, apologize for not having been able to give you a table that day, but give you a discount or something, a promo code. So business lost is also captured in that.
And how's adoption been for that app?
Well, we have a lot of interest, but the way we work is that we take a carrier and tell them that they should use their infrastructure towards deploying these applications. So that has been slow. But in terms of the end user, there's a whole lot of excitement about using this application itself.
So in addition to working through GENBAND to reach the carriers, you work directly with the carriers as well?
We do. In fact, the way we describe our company is that we make applications for telecom carriers and we make applications for telecom carrier customers. So we try to merge their infrastructure with other technologies that are there. So in terms of telecom carriers, we actually have a lot of applications that are used for operational stuff, like provisioning, for migration of networks, for capacity planning. At the same time, we're making new types of applications so that they can use their voice over IP platforms that GENBAND has, and they can basically extend these kind of applications to their customers.
Okay, so let's just ask quickly about trends that you're seeing both on the operational side with apps and then for the customers as well. Can you identify a trend maybe in each of those areas that is emerging?
Sure. So one thing we see on the application side is that there's a huge demand for two types of products. One is for SIP provisioning, because a lot of these carriers are going into getting a voice over IP platform and they need provisioning help. So tools that go for SIP provisioning and for capacity planning, because they need to understand how much capacity they have in terms of the kind of lines that they're trying to sell. On the customer side, what we find is that everyone wants to maximize what they already have. So we see this with smartphones already. All these variety of apps are because your phone has certain capabilities. You want to do as much as you can with that. So what the trend we see and what we're trying to do is we're trying to marry the telecom infrastructure, but also the hardware that might be there in terms of customers. So if it's big business, or small business for that matter, if they have Polycom handsets, there's already a camera available, there's already a desk set available, there's already a position that it's there in. We're trying to see how we can help the customer get more features of that. And that goes over the infrastructure of the telecom. So it's an extra service.
Great. All right. Manish Shah, Switchpoint Systems, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.